Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm bringing you the deck that got me into Mythic just a few days ago. When I started playing this deck, the climb became so much easier this season after having quite a bit of trouble on the ladder. This is an amazing Azorius value flying list that you probably have been running into. In fact, there's a different version of this list. It is not Azorius, it is simply mono white. And this is a list that I've actually run into a few times in recent videos, and I'm sure you've come across it as well. This thing is also doing very similar stuff with the Starfield Shepherd and the Sage of Skies and of course Momo. But we are not playing the mono white one because I think the Azorius one is a lot better. And this is what we are working with. I'm going to talk a little bit about the deck as usual, and then of course show you some gameplay so you can see how this one plays out. But I have to ask you to sub up if you haven't done so already, especially if you're enjoying the content. And most importantly, let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see from this channel. So what is going on with this list? Well, we are leaning into a couple of different things. One of the things is Momo Friendly Flyer. Momo is going to be discounting our non-lemur creature spells with flying that we cast during our turn, at least the first one. That means when we have a Momo on the field, our Starfield Shepherd's Warp costs 1, our Quantum Riddler's Warp costs 1. The other really great thing is that the Sage of Skies, the card that actually has done so much for this deck, costs just 2. So we can get a Momo out on the field, cast a Sage of Skies, get 2/3 flying lifelink creatures on turn 3. With the Starfield Shepherd, of course, we have a bunch of 1 CMC creatures that we want to go and grab in our deck. We have the Curious Farm Animal if we need to destroy a pesky artifact enchantment. This card actually comes in handy quite a bit. It's a great one of. Momo, we can go grab it. Momo is a bit of a lightning rod, so maybe going and getting extra Momos is a pretty good idea. Nurturing Pixie comes in, allows us to immediately bounce the Starfield Shepherd or the Quantum Riddler back to our hand if we have it on the field, and then we can get some extra value out of those cards. Then we have the Figure of Fable, just a really good one of. This card has also won me a couple of games by giving it the level 3, I guess, pumping 3 generic and 3 green or white into it, white in this case, making it a 7/8 with protection from everything. In fact, I hit an opponent for exact lethal with it on my climb into Mythic. And then sometimes you need a Mockingbird to copy something that your opponent's doing. So all of these things that the Starfield Shepherd can grab, pretty great. In addition, sometimes you just need a Plains, and the Starfield Shepherd can go and grab that. Then the Quantum Riddler is probably it is the reason to be playing blue in this deck. This card is absolutely insane. We kind of dump our hand out onto the field, but we have a couple of different ways of drawing cards. Obviously with Quantum Riddler, that's one way. The other way is with Halia. Halia oftentimes being put out for its warp cost. We do generate enough life gain to get a card draw at the end of turn, and this thing kind of just does a lot of work. But if we have a Quantum Riddler on the field, suddenly we're drawing 2 cards. If we have 2 Quantum Riddlers on the field, we might be drawing 3 cards if our hand is nearly empty. The last notable card and last kind of synergy piece or main like sub theme of the deck is the Cosmogrand Zenith. This card is awesome because we are quite often casting 2 or 3 spells a turn, and if we have a Cosmogrand Zenith on the field, we can make a bunch of 1/1s. We can put +1/+1 counters on them. When you're putting +1/+1 counters on 2 Sage of the Skies, things look really nice in this deck. Get Lost for a little bit of removal, and then Springleaf Drum is also a very important card in the deck. This thing helped us accelerate into those awesome Momo Sage of Skies turns when we have the opportunity. As for our lands, Abandoned Air Temple cannot be understated. This thing is super powerful, especially if we have a nice wide board. Putting +1/+1 counters on my creatures has certainly saved me in a few games. And Restless Anchorage is just a good creature land. Over in the sideboard, we have Requisition Raid, a really good uncommon card. If you're looking to build a sideboard, I know some people have been saying, hey, I want to try out best of 3, but I don't know how to build a sideboard, or I don't know what cards to put in my sideboard. Requisition Raid is one of those cards that I highly recommend. It's just an uncommon, so not a big deal, and it does so much in so many matches. We have 1 copy of Ademi. Honestly, I've never played it. I've never sideboarded it in, so I'm not sure if this is one that I would want to keep in the sideboard long term. Rest in Peace could probably go up to a full 4 of. This is another all-star white sideboard card. If you are playing standard, you probably want to have Rest in Peace available to you because it's just always a good way to hate on your opponent's graveyard strategies. a single copy of Shelter by Ghost. We could probably go up to another one in the sideboard because it's also a really good sideboard card. Voice of Victory, just in case we run into an opponent that's doing a lot of stuff on our turn, especially like the Elementals deck. If we have a Voice of Victory on our side of the field, it makes them flashing out the Eddie Merc Crab a little bit more awkward. Detect Intrusion if we need a little bit of protection, especially from board wipes. Clarion Conqueror if we run into people that are doing a lot of shenanigans. A little bit of a note with the Clarion Conqueror: if you bring this in, you probably want to take your Springleaf Drum out of the main board, put it in the sideboard, because the Clarion Conqueror is going to be turning off your drum. And then a very interesting one, the Pyrrhic Strike. Just kind of cute. It also has a lot of flexibility to it. I've actually found myself bringing this one in quite often, and it has been decent. Yeah. So that is the deck. We're going to hop into some games and I'll show you how this one plays out. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. I actually had a very good time playing this one, so I'm very excited to show it to all you people. See you over in the games. All right, Time Walk TV is up first. Seeing if we can make this Azorius control list do what it did for me in climbing up to Mythic. Usually the climb up to Mythic can be a little bit annoying in Platinum or in Diamond. Diamond level 4 was rough for me. I was playing a lot of like sketchy stuff, and then I switched to some better decks, we'll just say, and things started going a little bit better. And then once I switched to this deck, I actually climbed from Diamond 2 up straight into Mythic without any issues whatsoever. It's always nice when you're able to do that. However, we are maybe up against the mono blue tempo deck, the deck that I played on Friday. And this deck is scary. Otters. Otters are terrifying. These things just rip your face apart, and there are now more of them. However, we do have double Sage of Skies, and I think if we can get the Sage of Skies onto the field, gaining us a bunch of life, we can actually stabilize quite effectively. From here, I think probably it's just going to be the Starfield Shepherd, go and grab a Momo. It's kind of a nothing turn, but that's what I got to do. And you know what, we'll send the Figure of Fable. If they want to give me an Otter for it, I actually think I'm okay with that, because it just slows down their aggression against us a little bit, and this Figure of Fable is really not going to do too much. I suppose I could have saved it back as a blocker against the non-elusive Otter, but I think we're okay. We're not going to die next turn. And then what we can do is we can go Momo, put out the Hollowed Fountain untapped, unfortunately, and then a Sage of Skies, and then gain some life. You know what? Actually, this Figure of Fable needs to be chump blocking very soon. Okay, well, it got in for that 1 point of damage as it needed to. We could just, oh, thank God for that. Okay, so Momo Friendly Flyer, throw out the Sage of Skies, get 2 life linkers onto the field, and now we're playing the stabilize game. If we find a Cosmogrand Zenith off the top, Cosmogrand Zenith could be pretty powerful in this situation, because we could end up getting +1/+1 on our Sage of Skies, and them gaining 6 a turn could be pretty important. Okay, the opponent does have the follow-up island, which is bad news for us. Oh, and the bounce, actually this is disastrous. So now we have no choice but to block. I guess I block like this, right? That sucks. Bye-bye, Momo. You did your job. And we draw not a card you really want to see. But yeah, we might just die here. But I think I have to put out the double Sage of Skies. We have to hope that the cards that they have in hand are not like instant speed instants or sorceries, so that they can pump up these Otters. And maybe we can mitigate with a little bit of life gain from the Sage of Skies when we block these 1/1s. But the opponent going first, having a very good aggressive start, having all of their card draw at the top of their deck. Man, oh man, isn't it nice when you play the mono blue prowess deck and you find your ops? I don't know what that's about. And your sleight of hands. Okay, so we just die because the elusive otter can get in for 3 damage unless they attack with everything. We'll see, but I think this is a done deal already. So what are we gonna do in game number 2? We have Sheltered by Ghost, but Sheltered by Ghost is not exactly a great thing to have at our disposal. Eddie Crab being played in this deck. Okay, I like that. That's a cheeky little addition. Really need some High Noons. Unfortunately, High Noon is also a card that kind of hurts us quite a bit. So we will bring in the Shelter by Ghost. It's something. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to bring in against this opponent. I think we just have to hope that we can get them down. I'll take out 1 Springleaf Drum, keep the Curious Farm Animal. If I can use the Curious Farm Animal to maybe kill a Storm Chaser's Talent, possible that we could get a cheeky disruption on like a Boomerang Basic, but I'm not hopeful. All right, let's see if game number 2 can be a little bit smoother. These otters are such a problem. Okay. Opening hand looks fine, I guess. Not such a great opening land to have here, but at least we can go out with a Momo. Worst case scenario, we can use the Starfield Shepherd to go and get a Plains. Then we can bounce back the Starfield Shepherd with a... Yeah, that's what we're doing. With the Nurturing Pixie. It's something. It's fine. You know, we're going to get in for 3 damage with the Momo. And then we have on the next turn, Sage of Skies. Yes, we can do Sage of... No, we can't do it, actually. We are going to need an untapped land to do the Sage of Skies, because we'll have to put out the Curious Farm Animal plus the Sage of Skies for 2 mana. So it's possible. The opponent using the sleight of hand, maybe digging for islands. That could be nice if they're trying to find some lands. Another sleight of hand. Okay, so we're only getting hit for 3. We have a pretty good, potentially pretty good turn 3 here, and we miss on everything. So the option here is now Starfield Shepherd into a Plains and then play out the Figure of Fable. The other option is just going Restless Anchorage and putting out... Man, it all kind of sucks, doesn't it? You know what? I think I'm going to go this way. Starfield Shepherd into another Nurturing Pixie. Yeah. Bounce back the Starfield Shepherd 1 more time, and then we're going to play out the Restless Anchorage. And, you know, this is good. Now we have two 2/2s and a Momo on the field with the Restless Anchorage, so we can play towards putting out the Sage of Skies next turn. We can put the Curious Farm Animal on the field plus a Sage, or if we draw a land, I guess we could go Quantum... no, actually, you know what? No matter what, we could go Starfield Shepherd into the Sage of Skies, guarantee our land drop. Now things are a little bit different. Taking out the Momo, always a good idea. If you have a Momo late game, not the scariest thing. Momo early game, quite scary. So you definitely have to make sure that you're taking out your opponent's early Momos. We're down to 13. So both the opponent and I are just smacking each other in the face. But we top deck the hero of the day. Momo comes in, Sage of Skies. Boop, boop, boop. And we get in for 2 more damage. Now the opponent needs to kill us this turn or remove our lethal attack in the sky, which... Tall order, right? Going first advantage, it definitely exists, right? I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, it's a thing. Game number 3. Oh man, going... I actually saw a post the other day. You see posts all the time on Reddit about the go first advantage, and it's always fun. Sometimes people just come in and they're like, it's crap. And then other people come in and they're like, here's a whole bunch of data that shows that going first is a massive advantage. Like, yeah, where have you been? What rock have you been under? Okay, we got our removal. We got our removal. And you know what? If there's one card I am happy to hit with a seam rip, it is an elusive otter. Get out of here. It's crazy that this is the first seam rip we've seen in this match of 3 games. This game, how do you say that? Hey, Momo. So, do you put out the Momo? Or do you save the Momo for next turn if we draw a land? I think I save the Momo. I don't like that shock in. So the shock in could be that they're trying to draw. It could also mean that they're holding up a burst lightning. So if we end up drawing a land, then we put out the Momo, we put out the Sage of Skies. Kind of cool. But yeah, I always confuse. I've played, this is 1 match, and it has been 3 games. So a single match consists of 3 games. I think that's the way it is. I always forget if it's one way or the other way. Storm Chaser's Talent onto the field. You know what? I kind of want to just hit the Storm Chaser's Talent with the Seam Rip. It's a little bit of a waste, but I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to fake. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to grab your Otter. Yeah. Definitely don't counter the Seam Rip. I'm getting ready to click on the Otter opponent. Whoa! It flips over to the Storm Chaser's Talent. What a fake out. All right. We're having fun here. We like to have fun around here. And I can throw out a friendly Momo because I have a second one. And I definitely expected the opponent to have some removal for it, but they didn't have the burst light. They have the burst lightning. So we're still hoping for a land off the top. If we find that, we can still go with our original plan of Momo into Sage of Skies. If we miss the land, I guess what we're doing is Quantum Riddler and trying to draw a land off of that. Oh, they're bouncing my Seam Rip. All right. I guess it's not so clever to bounce the Seam Rip. Essentially, I'm just giving them the card drawback, right? All right. All right. Ooh. Hey, guess what? We found a land. All right. Seam Rip away. Take the elusive Otter. And there's no way they have another removal spell for my friendly flyer. I think it's fine. We're going to put it on the field. You know, now I'm kind of looking at it, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I actually don't have a way of triggering the Sage of Skies. Whoa, Seer. It's okay. I think I'm okay taking 2 damage. I would rather this fish block something a little bit bigger in the future. Well now. I can do a few different things and none of them feel great. How important is, yeah, it's this. It's always this. Quantum Riddler. Draw a card. Okay, actually it's good. And just wait. We do have the Get Lost. If they go to bounce the Storm Chaser's Talent with a Boomerang Basic, we'll smoke it with the Get Lost. Every time. Opponents, why are you so transparent? So we blank that. We do still get hit for possibly 6-8 damage here. Ooh, okay, just 5. Less than I expected. So we have 5 mana. We can go Quantum Riddler or Sheltered by Ghost, Sage of Skies, or Mockingbird, Sage of Skies. I honestly kind of like doing this. Mockingbird, copy the Slickshot Show Off. They're down to 1 card. I don't think I am gonna die next turn. And we get 2 Sage of Skies on the field. They have lifelink. Next turn, the idea here is that I can use the Shelter by Ghost on the Slickshot Show Off and gain 4 life from just the Slickshot Show Off. That's the hope. Maybe call me crazy. I don't have a whole lot of ways of benefiting from a Slickshot Show Off on the field, but I think I'm okay leaving Slicky here for 1 turn. They're loading up the boy. Oh, they find the Storm Chaser's Talent. Do they keep it on the top? They put it into the graveyard. That's... Do you do that? I don't know, man. I put so much value on the Storm Chaser's Talent when I play this deck. Maybe it's right. No attack from the opponent. So what? Now it's sketchy, right? They have 2 mana open. They have this. It's very likely that they have a way of bouncing whatever I put onto the field. Do I just attack with the Sage of Skies and try to get them to do something? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, they definitely have removal. Eddie Merc Crab. That's fine. We have the fish. Okay. Okay. So no attack. And then is it just Sheltered by Ghost to get rid of the Slick Shot show off, or is it Quantum Riddler draw 2 cards? How close do I think I am to dying? I'm gonna go this way. Wow, I can't believe the opponent tossed in the towel. That was... I went down rank? I went from 1800 to 99? Come on. That was a tilt out, I think, from the opponent. I'm a little bit surprised that they decided to go that way. I guess the fact that this Slick Shot is getting Ward 2 when they're at 3 mana, they're having a hard time hitting their 4th mana. Maybe that's what made them... But still, like, next turn, even if they have just one sorcery, one non-creature spell, they cast it out, then they attack, and it's such a bad block for me. Like, what do I guess I just block Eddie Merc Crab here, take whatever otter damage, and then on the following turn I can kind of recover, and I have the Quantum Riddler here. So I guess the position was going to be pretty good. But if they had just a few spells, like, I don't know, the position was weird. Take the win. So that game alone was a 20-minute game. Did I forget to mention that this deck is a bit grindy? Yeah, we don't want to face... man. We don't really want to face any opponents who are playing aggressive decks. I think we have a hard time dealing with heavy aggression, which we just kind of got lucky against the Otters because that deck is aggression incarnate, right? Halia, interesting. So with the Halia, I could actually draw a card by going Halia, Springleaf Drum, Mockingbird. I don't know what the opponent might be on. You know what? I don't hate the idea because I have the Quantum Riddler here. And the Quantum Riddler is better when we have an empty hand, right? We want to be drawing more cards with that. And then the future Halia with the Quantum Riddler could be kind of cool. So we'll, get our mana set up. We're kind of at like 5 mana. In a way, we can kind of almost get the Quantum Riddler on the field. But yeah, anyways, we don't want to face aggressive decks. We want to face grindy decks. Are we against... Okay, we're against Elementals. Is this Elementals proper or is this Spelementals? That's the question. Probably Spelementals with the Winter Night stories there. Because I drew... I was thinking, how important is it to get rid of Ashling here? So Ashling, whenever this creature enters or transforms into Ashling Rekindled, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. At the beginning of combat, pay 1. Yeah. Whenever this creature transforms into Ashling Rimbound, and at the beginning of your first main phase, add 2 mana of 1 color. Spend this mana only to cast spells with mana value 4 or greater. So I kind of need to get rid of that, right? Let's do it. We tap down this. We tap down the bird. And let's make a couple of 1/1s, hoping that the opponent doesn't have a way of bouncing them with the Sunderflock. That's the hope. Now, next turn, almost 100% of the time, we're going to be playing out Quantum Riddler. We can actually go Halia into Quantum Riddler thanks to our Springleaf Drum ramp and draw quite a few cards. We could actually draw so many cards if I decide to put more 1/1s on the field. Okay, let's play out the Restless Anchorage. It's possible that they have counter magic available. Nope, they don't have anything, actually. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. Do it. I am...
Putting +1/+1 counters allows me to do 3 extra damage this turn. And I'm not really going to be drawing so many more cards here because I'm going to draw 2 cards already. But 3 cards is really good. 3 cards is really good. Let's do it. So we draw 2 here. And we attack in. And we draw 1 more card on end step. The Quantum Riddler disappears. It's a land. That's good. So future is looking fine. If they put out like another, you know, with the Seam Rip, if they put down like another Ashling, it's going to be a pretty good target for the Seam Rip. Oh, I hate this card. Main board, ill-timed explosion. Of course they play it. I don't know. Sure wish this Cosmogran was a 5 toughness creature. Yikes. Okay, so from here, I honestly think this Seam Rip has basically no value. So I'm going to play the Seam Rip out to get rid of one of their maps. And I'm just going to put out a Quantum Riddler to draw 2 cards here. This might seem crazy. However, that worked out. That's beautiful. It's working out even better than I could have expected because we can even tap down this other Sage of Skies, grab our Quantum Riddler back to hand, and we have a board again, and we have Quantum Riddlers to continue drawing cards. One of the things about this deck is it definitely can grind. Look how we just took that ill-timed explosion right on the nose. And I hate the name. I hate the name of this card. Ill-timed. It's so time every time. It's the appropriately timed explosion. I have never been hit by an ill-timed explosion. I have only cast an ill-timed explosion. Okay, we're at so much life. I'm not even going to think about whether or not I should put that Hollowed Fountain out, tapped or untapped. I'm just going to throw it onto the field. And you know what? Let's go out with a Quantum Riddler this way. This is just a legit Quantum Riddler. Curious Farm Animal. That's fine. Attack in for 4. And we can actually start leveling up this Figure of Fable. This Figure of Fable can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. We're a little... No, with this, I can actually get it up to the 7-8 next turn. That's pretty wild. However, we might get bounced by a Sunderflock. No! Everything's caught. I hate elementals. All right. Yeah, you're doing your cool thing, Mr. Tom Jones 11235. What a lame card this is. With this, we're at such a disadvantage in this game. They have one-sided board wipes and ill-timed explosion part 2 on the top of their library. Oh, I hate you, opponent. I hate you so much. So, is it just put out a full cost Quantum Riddler, draw a card? It's a 4/6. It's pretty good. A Sunderflock or a Get Lost is going to be pretty good. Do I do this? Why not? Doesn't hurt to do it. Okay. So as long as the ill-timed... No, so like the ill-timed explosion, they're not going to want to fire it off for 6 to get rid of the Quantum Riddler. So there's some saving grace there. They are up to 7 mana on their own. So they're basically going to be hard casting whatever elementals they want to hard cast. So they could do another Vibrance and then ill-timed explosion for a little bit less. From here, I think I'm okay just removing the Sunderflock. I don't really want to block with the Quantum Riddler because then they can ill-timed explosion like X1. Just take 5 damage. It's fine. And then, yeah, keep in mind that this ill-timed explosion can end up doing so much damage to us in the future. Like, they have such big creatures. This is going to destroy our Springleaf Drum. Draw them some cards. Okie dokie. So I think we're still in a position where we are just hitting the opponent as hard as we possibly can in the air, and then hoping to put them in a position where they maybe have to do the ill-timed explosion to wipe their board as well. But I don't think that's going to end up happening. Okay, so how much mana do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 mana available to us. Halia, I mean, it just kind of draws us a whole new hand if we go like this. So Halia into Figure of Fable. 2, 4, 6, 7 mana available. So if I warp this out and use the Pixie, I cannot actually bring it back into hand. So I just put this tapped. I think I do it like this. Okay. Draw just a few more cards. Get back the... Why not? Get it back into hand. And you know what? Let's use the Starfield Shepherd to go grab a future Momo, because Momo discounting stuff will be kind of nice. I'm going to use this mana now because why not? Just get this up to a 2/3. We can hit them for 4. I think it's fine. We're at 22 life. And then we have a whole bunch of triggers at the end of turn. We have a Cosmic Grand Zenith for future shenanigans. It's possible that if they don't end up wiping the sky, that could be pretty good. Although if they just fling off the ill-timed explosion now, then that'll be a nice opportunity for us to play. I don't think they're going to be playing more than... They're not going to be playing more than 2 ill-timed explosions main board, right? How much do they go? Do they go 6? There's no way they go 6, right? They're like... They go 4. Okay. So they wipe out our side of the field, but we gain 3 life. Those creatures that we were putting onto the field, they were there to die. They were there to draw out the ill-timed explosion so that we could draw cards, empty our hand. Like, I mean, we drew. Look, I mean, Quantum Riddler is such a stupid card. What a card, right? Drawing insane amounts of value every single time it hits the field. We do have a little bit of a choice, though, that we have to make because of how Cosmic Grand Zenith works. We have the Seam Rip this time around. So we play the Verge. And do I really... I think I do care about getting +1/+1 on the Quantum Riddler. So let's go this way. I guess it didn't, no. That was the wrong way of doing it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm tilting out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana available to us, which is not what I want to have. It's not quite enough, but it's still okay. This is enough of a committal to the board, I think. Hit them for 5. I could Momo Quantum Riddler. Bounce off. I could Momo Quantum Riddler. Why not? Maybe I should have put out the Seam Rip to draw an extra card. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been better. Like, the Seam Rip is literally getting no value. I should have just taken a map token. I would have drawn 2 cards. We'll see. Okay, do you have more ill-timed explosions for our poor board? The Cosmic Grand, oh man, Deceit is good. So many tools from the opponent. What do they bounce? What are they bouncing? Our Cosmic Grand Zenith. That's okay. I think you take the Cosmic Grand Zenith, right? Yeah. You can't let the Sage of Skies get up to 3, 4. But we do have the Abandoned Air Temple. So that is something to consider. Next turn, how much damage do we have? So we have 5 on board, 6, 7, 8, plus Momo to trigger the other Momo. We actually have them dead in the air. If they have nothing, use the map tokens. Oh, Vibrance. Vibrance is so clutch for them. What do they kill? Me. What an insane battle that was, right? That was crazy. I hate this deck. But in a way, I also kind of like the deck because they are leaning fully into the elemental angle. So that's kind of cool. Shelter by Ghost does not feel great. I think actually Ademi is going to finally come in to give our stuff indestructible potentially. So Ademi's here. The Fyric Strike seems like it's a pretty good card. I don't know about the Voice of Victory because it looks like they are playing like a legit elementals deck with like every elemental and ramping into the elementals. So I don't have to really worry about like an Eddie Crab flashing in or whatever. I don't think they're going to do a lot of stuff on our turn. I still think maybe I do bring the Shelter by Ghost because if I can get an early creature with it, it's going to be pretty valuable. So we'll try it this way. The Seam Rips are awful, like legitimately awful cards in our deck. And I think the Detect Intrusion is also going to be a pretty good card just to obviously stop the ill-timed explosions. And even the triggered abilities. So we'll bring that in and hope that that kind of gets us there. Let's get rid of one Starfield Shepherd and no, let's get rid of a Curious Fireman. Well, I don't think I need 3 life is okay, but I don't think it's gonna be good enough. Oh, meeting some scary matchups today. It's okay. Yeah, I think I can keep it. Opponent mulligan down to 5. How important is it for me to run out the Springleaf Drum? Not very important. Okay, we'll just put out the Hollow Fountain and pass it over to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. Okay. Springleaf Drum onto the field. Very, very slow start from our side, but next turn we can in theory get a Sage of Skies on the field. The problem is that it's going to be pretty vulnerable to a turn 4 ill-timed explosion. They have the Wistfulness now. Does that just ramp? No, it just draws. So they did go down to 5, but now they've probably fixed their cards pretty effectively. Man, all these elementals are so good. Okay, bounce off into the bin. So now the question is, do I really want to get destroyed? And I think it's fine. Let's get some cheeks clapped. So we'll put the Sage of Skies onto the field. It's possible that we get in for 5 damage next turn and then we get ill-timed explosion, but we might end up drawing the counterspell before the ill-timed explosion. Maybe, just maybe. We'll see. I think this deck, the Elementals deck, I've been doing okay against the Elementals deck that are the Spelementals. I ran into Spelementals, I think, twice on my run from rank 1 into Mythic. And when you bring in Rest in Peace, that deck kind of gets like neutered hard. Rest in Peace is not doing so much against this opponent, right? They're going to reach in, they're going to take. If they take the Get Lost, that means they have an ill-timed explosion. If they take the Sage of Skies, they don't have the ill-timed explosion. They have 100% an ill-timed explosion in their hand. We are in so much trouble. Okay, I'm just only going to put out the Hollow Fountain. I'm going to keep this so I can, at the very least, get a double Sage of Skies as a recovery on the following turn. Goodbye, board. What? Did not expect that. Okay, you know what we need? Not that. What would have been nice is the land to give +1/+1. All right. All right. I don't know. I don't know if I was supposed to play to the board. Like, it's such a toss-up. They could have the board wipe at any moment. Instead, they just have the double Vibrance trigger because of the Roaming Throne. I guess I could have put them on that. Yeah, maybe it was. But they could have both. And they're going to gain 4 life here. Oh, we're so toast. These cards are so insanely pushed that even though they had like a little bit of a slow start, we got them all the way down to 6 life. Was it 6 life? Was it 4 life? Did they gain 4 or did they gain 2? I'm not sure. All right. Well, we rebuild here. We try our best. We've put out the second Sage of Skies. Probably should have had a Momo on the field. It's fine. We attacked them for 1. I'm going to save the planes because I don't need to give them more information. And yep. Let's see if they also have the board wipe for us. It seems like this opponent is kind of drawn hot, hot, hot. No, a Deceit, which is bad because they... Oh, they just double... No. Oh, it's so bad because they can do everything. They bounce, they bounce, they kill, they kill. All right. These are... It's just as bad as a board wipe, isn't it? Resolve all. It's fine. All right, GG Tom Jones. I think we're going to see one more draw. It's a land. I'm going to cry about it, and I'm going to pass the turn and whatever, wallow in sadness. Oh, wait, they left me with some creatures? It's a land. All right, well, there's still like a slight glimmer of hope. But here comes almost certainly the Sunderflock to bounce my poor Mockingbird and Sage of Skies. No, they just hit me down to 5. What do you got as a follow-up? Surely they have something. Another Vibrance. Oh, imagine this matchup. Oh, this deck sucks. I will say that Elementals deck look actually pretty fun, and you never see people playing it. I don't know if it's actually a good deck. I really wonder if it certainly lines up really well against my deck. And right now, this deck is relatively popular in the meta, so I'm not overly surprised that people would want to be playing it. Oh, are we really going otters into elementals back into otters? Is that what we're doing, people? Why? Why are you people the way you are? All right, let's get... Do I want to put out the Nurturing Pixie, just pick up the Curious Farm Animal? Yeah, it's probably fine, right? All right, we'll do that. Oh boy. It's I should know better than to do really well with a deck off camera and then be like, tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up and throw the camera on and record, because then inevitably you kind of run into the wrong matchups. It just goes that way. All right, we're down to 17. We get a Halia. Halia's okay. Does Halia actually make sense to play out this turn? I think it kind of does. We do need to put this on white. So we put this out for 1. We put this out for 1. We put this out for 1. And that's okay. We get to draw a card. Do I want the Mockingbird, the Pixie, or the Figure of Fable? And I think it's probably the Nurturing Pixie. Could be the Mockingbird, though. There's always arguments for a Mockingbird. Okay, smack the opponent back down to, or smack them down a little bit. And we get a Seam Rip, which is good. Seam Rip as a follow-up for next turn. We can actually go... So Pixie allows us to pick up the Seam Rip, right? Non-land permanent you control. We can go Seam Rip, take an Otter. Nurturing Pixie, take another Otter. And I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Let's see, though, how much damage they're actually going to be able to do to us. Okay, so new plan. Seam Rip, take an Otter, bounce back the Seam Rip, take the Slick Shot Show Off this time. Because I don't really want to be hit for that much damage. Curious Farm Animal can stay on the field. That's okay. Sage of Skies. Okay, hold up. Now we have new angles to go about things. We have 4 mana. So is it actually just Seam Rip? It's just Seam Rip, Sage of Skies now? Yeah. Every single time. Okay. And then we get to attack in for quite a bit of damage. I think I'm going to hold back the Curious Farm Animal just as an emergency blocker, because we are getting a little bit low on life. But we do now have the 2 life linkers. We'll put this on blue just in case we do find a Quantum Riddler in the near future. And yeah, let's hope that they don't have a way of bouncing the Seam Rip. More otters. Soon. Wow, they decide to bounce the Sage of Skies token instead of bouncing a Storm Chaser's talent. That has me surprised. Well, I would be remiss to not block here. Yeah, you take me down to 1, but I then go up a little bit. I mean, we're in trouble. This sucks. This sucks. I'm really glad I didn't shock in that multiversal passage now. And we get another Sage of Skies. That's pretty great. But we don't really have a good way of going about things. So I guess it's, yeah, just Nurturing Pixie, Sage of Skies. It's fine. Not pick up anything. And I wonder if it was like actually pick up the Sage of Skies after attacking with the Sage of Skies. We attack them for 4. We go up to 3. Not, man, I hate these cards. I can't see, what's my life? Oh, I'm up to 6. I actually legitimately cannot see my life total. Oh no. Oh no. Not the otter, not the elusive otter. If they have one more spell, we die. No. We're okay. We go to 5. Go down to 1. I think we're at 1. Can the opponent even see my life total? It's such a, surely they could. Okay. What a stupid game. Okay. I guess we bring in the Sheltered by Ghost, and that's it. Requisition Raid to kill this, but it's not good. I don't think it's really worth doing. So yeah, just a Shelter by Ghost because it can hit it can hit a token. It's the Shelter by Ghost is going to be pretty vulnerable, but if we can gain a little bit of life, you know, but you put the Shelter by Ghost on a Momo, the Momo's hitting for 3 as a 3/3 or 4/4. I guess it would be 4/3 or 5/4. That can be okay. Oh, what a weird day. What a weird day. This is only going to be a 3 match video because these games are going so long. This deck is cool. And I know it's not exactly performing well, but we are running into some weird matchups. Double Otter, Elementals that is tuned to absolutely prey on creature decks that are playing like go wide, low toughness creatures. What can you do when you run into those kind of matchups on the arena, right? You just got to take those licks. And unfortunately, when I'm recording these videos, I'm only going to record 3 or 4 matches and then say, hey, my battery is basically dead, because that's what happens every single time, and move on with things. I'm not going to be like, well, those 3 games or 4 games were not really optimal, so you know what, let's restart and record these new videos. So you're seeing the legitimate struggles of a deck, and sometimes the decks run really well. On Friday when I played the mono blue tempo deck, I mean, those first 3 games, they felt pretty smooth to me, but it doesn't always go that way, right? There's a reason I ended up I didn't continue playing the mono blue tempo. I mean, the reason is I wanted to play another deck so I could practice another deck to do some recording. That's always the case with me. Even if I like a deck, I end up having to jump to something new just to practice it so that I'm ready to hit the record button, so I'm not flubbing too badly. The flubs are certainly present, but imagine how many more there would be if I weren't taking the time to at least get some reps in with all of these decks. Which brings me to a new thought. I definitely revisit decks. I can't get around it. I have to revisit decks every now and then. How would you feel about me revisiting decks even more so, or playing the similar decks repeatedly? I really don't know what I want to do with the channel, because like, I mean, MTG views are down, I think, across the board. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wasn't overly interesting for people. By the way, Lamb Chop just Alt F4 out of this stuff. So if you're hanging around, cool, I appreciate it. I'm going to ramble for a little bit more and then we're going to go to a wrap up. But if you are satisfied with this video, with seeing what this Azorius value deck can do, I showed you kind of the idea. It pumps out stuff, it recovers well, it draws cards well. It does do well, but when you run into an elementals deck that has so much removal and so much efficient removal for your stuff, I mean, what are you going to really do? But yeah, I've kind of wondered, like, should I, spend a week and be like, this week is like the Slick Shot Show Off week where I'm going to play 3 different decks with Slick Shot Show Off. Would that be something you would be interested in seeing? Or would that be something like, oh, it's another Slick Shot Show Off video? Because what I end up doing is I end up playing a wide variety of decks. I try changing things up. I try exploring new strategies. And what that requires me to do is craft a lot of stuff, which is fine. Whatever, my collection's fine. But I don't have the time to really sit around and play all these new decks and figure out if they're viable or not viable. But it is something that I could end up doing if the desire is there. Wow. I can't imagine I mean, yeah, they were pretty close to killing us in that last game, but they were so close. Why would they tilt out so badly? Maybe they had to go. Who knows? Anyways, let me know what you think about what kind of videos you'd like to see. All right, so this Azorius Flyers Value, whatever you want to call it, deck is actually pretty sweet. And I know, again, it didn't really perform as beautifully as I would have liked it to, but I think you saw what the deck is capable of doing. We had the situations where we were getting Momos on the field with Sage of Skies coming out. Sage of Skies kind of saved my butt in a few situations. We saw the games where I think we were putting stuff out with the Cosmo Grand Zenith to gum up the board a little bit. Cosmo Grand Zenith is such a fun card. It's a little bit funny to me to compare this card with this card, because the Cosmo Grand Zenith Mythic 3 CMC, very good card, very well designed card. It's so fair. You have to work so hard to make the Cosmo Grand Zenith work, but when you do, it's so satisfying and it can be incredibly powerful. And then you get like this card that it costs 1 more, but it is so like auto include in any creature based strategy. You're doing the thing you're gonna do no matter what. You're in green, you're gonna put out Mana Dorks and you're gonna be rewarded for playing out Mana Dorks. Congratulations. So like the design difference between the Cosmo Grand Zenith and the Ouroboride to me is really, I can't imagine the same people were working on these cards, because you have this card that is so carefully crafted and, in my opinion, what the cards should look like in standard. This is what a Mythic should be. It's powerful, but it's also like build around and requires careful consideration. This card, I see posts from new players being like, what is this card? Why is this thing doing what it does? And it's so egregious, and I love it. The Ouroborade's amazing. I'm not going to stop playing it, but I really wish it didn't exist because it is so overtuned. So we saw that. We also saw, Quantum Riddler doing insane stuff. Even in the game that we lost against the Elementals deck, look how many cards I was drawing with the Quantum Riddler. Imagine you're playing against an opponent who has a slightly different strategy where they don't just have board wipes. They don't have ways of putting out 5/5s and 6/6s and attacking your hand and doing 3 damage to all of your 3 toughness creatures. The amount of cards that you can draw with Quantum Riddler, absolutely fantastic. And then the shenanigans with the 1 CMC stuff is so good. Nurturing Pixie coming in, bouncing things. Your Seam Rip, such a valuable card in a lot of matchups. Didn't really work out in a lot of our matchups, but it is valuable in a lot of places. Sideboard, I think, could use a little bit of tuning here and there, but overall it's fine. Whatever it is, what it is. It depends on your matchups. Clarion Conqueror, what a card in some matchups, but we didn't see green today, so that's just the way it goes. Still, I think this is one of the best decks that I have played recently, even though the video did not display that. And that's why I'm kind of stressing that a little bit more. If you stuck around this long, you're interested in this deck, there is something here. This is a beautiful deck. Expensive deck. So many rares, so many mythics. Am I going to really take the time to go through everything? I am actually kind of curious for myself. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit, especially with cards like Momo. If you don't have Momo, tough craft. So the mythics and the rares a little bit heavy. Lands obviously are always the standard. Lands are expensive. It is what it is. Anyways, let me know what you think about a lot of this one. There were a lot of weird thoughts kind of streaming out of my mouth over the course of this hour. Hope you enjoyed it though. Take care for now. I will see you again on Friday, I suppose, or in the next video. And take care for now. Sayang ipuna. Bye bye.